Welcome to Empower Your Mind, the show where we explore the tools, ideas, and habits that help you become the best version of yourself. I'm your host, and today we're tackling one of the most powerful forces behind every success story you've ever heard: confidence. Not just any kind of confidence, though. Today's episode is about unshakable confidence. The kind that holds steady when you're rejected, when you fail, when others doubt you, or when fear creeps in. We'll explore what confidence really is, how it's built, and, most importantly, how you can cultivate it in your daily life, no matter where you're starting from. So, grab a notebook or just settle in, because by the end of this episode, you'll have a roadmap to becoming more confident, more capable, and more unstoppable than ever before. Let's get started. Part 1, the truth about confidence. Let's start with a myth buster. Confidence is not something you're born with. Sure, some people appear more self-assured than others. Maybe they speak clearly, walk tall, or take risks without hesitation. But here's the truth. Confidence isn't a trait. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be practiced, refined, and strengthened over time. You're not born with unshakable confidence. You build it. Confidence is the result of what you do, not who you are. It's the belief that you can handle life's challenges, learn what you need to learn, and recover when things go wrong. It's not about having all the answers. It's about trusting yourself to figure things out along the way. And that trust is built through action. Part 2, the confidence-competence loop. There's a concept in psychology called the confidence-competence loop, and it explains a lot. Here's how it works. 1, you take action, even if you're scared. 2, that action builds competence. You get better at the thing you're doing. 3, that competence builds confidence. 4, confidence leads to more action, and the cycle continues. It's not about eliminating fear. It's about showing up anyway. When you understand this loop, confidence stops feeling like a mystery and starts feeling like a process, because it is a process. And the first step is always the hardest, but also the most important. Part 3, the real enemies of confidence. Let's talk honestly about the biggest obstacles that kill confidence. Because before you can build anything solid, you've got to clear out what's weakening your foundation. The first enemy? Fear of judgment. So many of us walk through life editing ourselves, what we say, how we dress, what we post, because we're afraid of what other people will think. But here's a truth that might free you. Everyone is too busy thinking about themselves to constantly think about you. That sounds harsh at first, but it's liberating. People might notice you for a moment, sure. They might have opinions, but most of the time, they forget and move on. The cost of living for other people's approval is your own potential, and you deserve better than that. The second enemy? Perfectionism. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being real. When you aim for perfection, you trap yourself in a cycle of procrastination, self-doubt, and overthinking. And here's the irony. The more you strive to be perfect, the more you delay progress, which makes you feel even less confident. Instead, aim for progress over perfection. Done is better than perfect. Effort matters more than polish. Confidence grows when you give yourself permission to be human. And finally, there's a third enemy that lives in all of us: your inner critic. You know the voice I'm talking about, the one that says, You'll never be good enough. Why would anyone listen to you? You always mess things up. That voice might sound like you, but it's not you. It's a voice you learned. Maybe from a parent, a teacher, a bully, or a painful moment you've replayed too many times. If you want to build unshakable confidence, you have to learn how to disarm that inner critic, not by fighting it, but by talking back to it with truth. Part 4, Building the Inner Foundation. Let's switch gears now and talk about how you build confidence from the inside out. Because true confidence isn't loud. It's not flashy. It's not built on likes or titles or how many people praise you. Unshakable confidence is internal. It's rooted in who you believe you are. And this starts with your identity. Every time you take action, you reinforce an identity. When you show up early to a meeting, you become someone who is responsible. When you follow through on a promise, you become someone who is trustworthy. When you speak up despite nerves, you become someone who is brave. Confidence is not built by thinking your way into it. It's built by proving to yourself that you can handle discomfort and still take action. That's why integrity is the secret ingredient. When your actions align with your values, you start trusting yourself deeply. That's where unshakable confidence lives, not in a perfect outcome, but in the courage to show up fully, no matter the result. So ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What habits would that version of me practice? What would they do today, even if they were scared? Acting like the confident version of yourself now is how you become that version over time. It's not fake. It's called identity-based action, and it's one of the most powerful tools for transformation. Part 5, Daily Habits that Build Confidence. Now, let's get practical. Confidence isn't just a mindset, it's a practice. Here are some daily habits that will help you build a solid foundation of confidence. 1. Keep promises to yourself. Confidence is built on self-trust. When you say you're going to do something, do it, even if it's small, whether it's waking up on time, hitting the gym, or finishing a task. Each promise kept sends a message to your brain. I can rely on myself. 2. Do one brave thing a day. It doesn't have to be huge. Send that email. Start that conversation. Try that new class. Every brave step builds momentum. Celebrate small wins. Confidence thrives on progress. Acknowledge every win, no matter how small. You sent the message, you asked the question, you tried, celebrate it. 4. Journal your progress. Every night, jot down one thing you did well, one thing you learned, one thing you're proud of. This habit keeps your focus on growth, not perfection. Part 6. Reprogramming your mind for long-term confidence. To build unshakable confidence, you must first rewire the way you think about yourself, your fears, and your future. Why? Because your brain naturally seeks comfort and safety, not growth. And confidence requires growth. That means you need to teach your brain that stepping outside your comfort zone is not a threat. It's a signal of transformation. Start by adopting growth-oriented affirmations, not fluffy mantras, but real, believable statements like, I am learning to trust myself more each day. I don't have to be perfect to be powerful. Confidence comes from action, and I'm willing to act. Pair these with consistent visualization. Close your eyes and picture yourself in a high-stakes moment, giving a presentation, speaking up, launching a project. Imagine how the confident version of you walks, talks, and reacts. The more vividly you see it, the more real it becomes. Finally, reframe fear. Instead of thinking, I'm nervous, tell yourself, I'm expanding. Fear is not the enemy. It's a sign that you're doing something meaningful. Reprogramming your mind isn't about erasing fear. It's about replacing limitation with possibility. It's about teaching your brain that you are capable, resilient, and worthy of showing up fully. Part 7. Handling setbacks without losing confidence. Even the most confident people face setbacks. The difference? They don't let those setbacks define them. They use them to grow stronger. Confidence isn't about never falling. It's about how quickly you get back up. When something goes wrong, start by normalizing the struggle. Everyone fails. Everyone messes up. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're trying. Next, instead of spiraling, hit pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Then take one small action to get back on track. Maybe it's revisiting your goals. Maybe it's a 5-minute task. Momentum rebuilds belief. And most importantly, speak to yourself with compassion. You don't have to be harsh to improve. In fact, research shows that self-compassion leads to greater resilience and motivation. So instead of saying, I messed up again, say, I'm learning and I'll do better next time. Confidence is not a straight line. It's a journey filled with resets, rebounds, and retries. The key is to keep going. Remember, one bad day doesn't undo all your progress. One no doesn't mean you're not worthy. Confidence isn't erased by a fall. It's forged by rising again. Part 8. Becoming the confident version of you. Here's the truth. The most confident version of you already exists. You don't need to create them. You just need to step into them. Start by asking, what would the confident version of me do today? Would they say yes to that opportunity? Speak up in that meeting? Walk into the room with presence and purpose? Now start practicing those behaviors. Not tomorrow, but now. Confidence isn't something you unlock later. It's something you act into today. Want to feel more powerful? Dress like the version of you who owns the room. Want to speak with confidence? Practice slowing your speech and projecting your voice. Want to build authority? Make decisions from your future self's perspective. These small shifts in behavior lead to big changes in identity. You're not faking it. You're training your nervous system to recognize confidence as your new normal. Also, surround yourself with evidence. Track your wins, however small. Write them down. Reflect on them. The more you collect moments of strength, the more you internalize this truth. I am not waiting to become confident. I am becoming confident with every choice I make. Step into your power, own your voice, and show up like the version of you who already knows they're enough. Part 9. Final reflections and confidence action plan. Let's bring everything together. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's not about perfection, performance, or pretending. It's about trusting yourself, even when you're unsure. It's about choosing to act, even when doubt whispers in your ear. Here's your confidence action plan, a simple, powerful framework you can start today. 1. Act before you feel ready. Remember, action comes first. Confidence follows. 2. Keep promises to yourself. Build self-trust with consistent, small follow-throughs. 3. Replace the inner critic with an inner coach. Speak to yourself with the same kindness you give others. 4. Celebrate small wins. Track daily progress. Confidence grows when you notice growth. 5. Visualize your confident self. See it, feel it, act it into reality. 6. Lean into discomfort. Fear is not a stop sign. It's an invitation to expand. 7. Reset quickly after setbacks. One stumble doesn't erase your momentum. Keep going. Confidence is a skill, a mindset, a practice, and most of all, it's a choice. You don't become confident all at once. You become confident by choosing to show up again and again in the face of uncertainty and proving to yourself that you can. So take the step, send the message, speak the truth, be bold, be kind, be real. Your confident self is already inside you, waiting to lead. Thank you for joining me on this journey to building unshakable confidence. If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend who needs that extra boost. And don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode of Empower Your Mind. You've got what it takes. Confidence isn't waiting somewhere down the road. It's already within you. You just have to keep showing up. Until next time, keep growing, keep believing, and most of all, keep being you.